You know, it is really an honor to be up here, to have the opportunity to share what I know with the people that I love. I know we're not in church, and I know we come from many different religious backgrounds, but I love to listen to a particular pastor who said something once that really struck me. He said, Christianity is one beggar showing another beggar where he found the bread. It's pretty cool. Isn't that what we're doing here, right? We're students, we're chiropractors in practice, we're teachers, we're coaches, and we all come together as one. We don't look up or down at each other. I was just talking with Carol Ann about this. Kind of reminds me of the old DE, remember? Big numbers, you know, people coming in talking about the thousands of people that they're seeing, except we actually really talk honest numbers here, which is pretty cool. So I love to be here amongst the people who love what I love, that do what I do, that really do it for the sake of giving and loving and serving, because this is an amazing profession. And you know, I've been humbled this year a couple of times, pretty dramatically, to understand that although, you know, a lot of people today have been talking about choice, right? We have a choice to do what we want to do. We hear all these great speakers talking about how to be better. But really, it's all about perspective. So this year, I lost a friend who, well, he took his life because his perspective came from an outside-in view. Isn't it true that as chiropractors, we kind of get beaten up out there? Yeah. When you tell someone that you're a chiropractor, what do you always hear? Oh, doc, right here, right? Can you fix that? Or, oh, a chiropractor. Yeah, that's right. I'm a chiropractor. You know what? If people could actually look from a different perspective, they might see things differently. But I think it needs to start with us. Perspective comes from a place of learning and knowing through experience, through our moms, through our dads, our friends, our teachers, in school, right? We have experiences in life that take us to a place where it becomes our truth, and then our truth becomes our reality. So what's your reality? Do you believe that you're intelligent? Do you believe that you're brilliant? Do you believe you're beautiful? How many of you are powerful? That's right. How many people are successful? Come, why did I not see every arm up? How many of you are successful? Come on. It's all what you believe. What's on the inside? We talk through chiropractic about healing from the inside out, but what kind of things are you telling yourself? Where do you live? Where are you getting the words that feed you and fuel you? Is it coming from the outside world? From the insurance companies telling you that you're not valued? Telling you that they don't want to pay for you? Is that how you value what the price of the cost of your care is? You watch the Kardashians and you see, oh, my butt's not big enough, so I don't fit in? Come on. So you have to take it from a different perspective. You have to change where you get the information that you're feeding yourself. And if you walk the line, guys, I'm not an early morning person. Man, when I was a kid, I'd sleep till 12, 1 o'clock. That was like the best thing ever. If I could at least sleep till 8 o'clock now, I'm a happy person. That hardly ever happens. But I force myself to wake up at the crack of dawn. And you can ask my staff, because they make fun of me all the time. I listened to this great pastor today, or I listened to this motivational speaker, or Tony Robbins said that we should do this. What are you waking up to? As a matter of fact, one of the things that I teach them, I let them know that their day doesn't start when they wake up in the morning. Anybody know when the day starts? Yeah, before you go to bed. It's all in the words that feed your soul. What do you really believe? Where do you get it from? Where's your sources? Anybody ever get a call from a patient who says, I can't come in because my doctor said this is dangerous or you'll hurt me? Do you believe that? Then why do we act like we do? Why do we have so many chiropractors that are out there not coming in here that are failing? I have a chiropractor that I'm good friends with that sells medical equipment. What is that? We need to be filling this room up. The next time I come up here and speak, I want to see 2,000 faces out there. This is crazy. How many people know other people that should be here? Yes, yes, right? This is insane. I don't understand why we don't have more people here. But I really, I thought about this long and hard, and the more I thought about what I was going to come up and speak about, it just kept coming back to me that I need to talk about perspective. And no matter what we do, don't sit there and judge. We can't judge other people when we're not looking within. We walk around this world talking about other people, talking about the medical doctors who don't like what we're doing, or the people who say, oh, you're a chiropractor. But we don't think about the words that come from within us. So I thought about it, and I've been listening and reading and doing all this research and trying to come up with some really good stuff for you guys, and this one thing struck me that I can't forget. I think his name is Christian Averti. He said, once you teach a child that a bird is named Bird, the child will never see the bird again. Do you understand what that means? So as a child, we come into the world with this clean slate. We know nothing. And we look at the world in complete wonder and excitement. You see a leaf is blowing, and we can appreciate the leaf blowing in the wind, and we don't even understand that it has that name. You look at flowers, and you don't understand that it has the name of flower, because once you give it that name, it fits into a certain box, and it has a definition, and it has to live by certain rules. And now, we don't see the forest through the trees, we see the rules that life is supposed to be set by, and then that's the way that we live. And then when life no longer makes sense, we don't understand where it's coming from. It's coming from that perspective that we're not supposed to live freely and think freely and do what we love to do. Aren't we supposed to love chiropractic? Yes. I want to know, by a show of hands, how many of you are walking in, instead of a practice you're walking into a job. Okay, now half of you are lying. But the ones that we really need to help are out there. We need to bring them in here, because every single person that came up on this stage and the people who are still left to come up are people that come from a place of understanding that there's more to being in practice than just seeing a bunch of people. There's more than collecting money. When you're truly doing what you love and you're passionate about it and you see it for what it really is, the beauty and the glory of restoring life. I love, and I say it probably, I bet I say it 3 or 4 times a day. You never know how far thinking something you say, think, or do today can affect the lives of millions tomorrow. I learned that from my uncle. I learned that from Debra Cirone. I'm gonna get a little choked up. I love that guy. And you know what? My Aunt Diane, she stands behind him. She is the pillar of strength. And if you don't believe that you're the pillar of strength that lifts other people up and changes their lives, for God's sake, there's 40, 50, 60 people out there, I think probably more than that are chiropractors. That not only that are chiropractors, but have kids that are chiropractors because of those people. So, and you know what? They don't do it for any other reason, because they know what can become of each and every person that they touch with this special gift. We are blessed to wake up every day. And so when you decide in the morning that you don't want to go to work and you're going to try to think of every excuse in the book because it's a job, I want you to make a decision that you're going to change the self-talk. Change the stuff that you put in, and before you go to bed, you start putting good things in. Because I want you to know something about me that you may not already know. I am a pillar of strength, and I know that about me. I am intelligent. I am a great chiropractor. I have amazing hands, and I have the great gift to speak to people and to meet them where they are. And you need to know that you have that too. But first, you have to get out of your own way. We've had a lot of people talking today about just stepping up and taking action. But you have to change your perspective. You can go to a coach, and I recommend it, but you can go to a coach and they can teach you policies and procedures, and that's great. We all need them. But what if your perspective of who you are and what you're doing isn't there? All successful people know who they are. Every one of them. They can't make it if they don't. They also know what they stand for. They stand on solid ground. What's that? That's saying no one can anchor to an unanchored mind, right? Anchor to fall for something or stand for something, you'll fall for anything. It's true. It's true. You cannot waver without being dragged down. You have to stand solid. You have to know that what you do has benefit to the world. You know, we watched that video of looking at the world, you know, from a different perspective. You know, if you were standing on a mountain or you were standing out there on Mars or on another planet, how would you think about yourself? Are you really big or are you really small? We are really small, each and every one of us. But as a group of people, we can do huge things, amazing things, right? Think about all the kids that have walked into each and every one of your practices who may not ever have to be on medication or get vaccinated, right? I think all the time about people like little Toby, who walked in my office. Well, actually, he ran in my office with his mother chasing him like this. She had been a patient. Her husband did not want the children getting adjusted. I begged her. Her husband finally got injured. He came in. He felt better. So we said, okay, and he saw the kids running through the practice. So we finally said, okay, bring Toby in. Toby got his first adjustment after I asked his mom, do you trust me? Because this kid was all over the place. She said, of course I trust you, Dr. Deb. I said, okay, I need you to hold him down. She held him down, and man, I whacked his atlas. It was awesome. He went to his occupational therapist that day. He said 20 words. That child never spoke in 3.5 years, never. Now he calls himself a world changer. He looks you in the eye. And the thing that really got me, the biggest difference that touched me more than anything, is the fact that when he came in and I was in the exam room and I was asking questions, the few that I asked because it was just too crazy and chaotic to get an answer out of mom. She's too busy chasing him. She's like, Toby, 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 come back. Toby, don't touch that, Toby. And the brother and sister are sitting over there just watching. I'm like, is this normal? They're like, yeah, that's normal. I was like, oh my God, and I literally started to cry. It's like, how can these people live like this? That's stressful. How much attention are these kids getting? What kind of relationship do these parents have? How long could they go like that? Do you know that's the kind of family that would have ended up in divorce? You know that, right? Is it terrible how many people we see get divorced? All the time. There's a disconnect. So this child got the connection back, and the whole family did. Now they get to spend time, and they go on vacation. They never went on vacation before. And Toby walks in the door, and he looks you in the eye, and he lays on the table, and he calls me by name, and he has conversations with his parents, and she homeschools, and he no longer gets labeled with all of these awful things that the doctors were saying because they didn't know what the hell was wrong with him. You have the power to make a difference. I want you to do me a favor. We have a few more minutes. I want all of you to close your eyes. Some of you are resistant. Just humor me. Close your eyes, and I want you to think. Now, maybe this isn't for everybody, but I bet a large majority. I want you to think about yourself where you are right now. Think about yourself walking into your practice the way that you do every day. Maybe you're in a rush. Maybe you're thinking about bills. You have patients laying on the table, and your head's thinking about how many more patients you have waiting for them or how many people aren't coming in that are supposed to. Think about how you feel. Are you under stress while you're standing in that practice? Think about the team that you have around you. Are these the kind of people that you want to expose other people to? Now, I want you to move into the future a little bit and think about what would happen a year from now if you kept doing what you're doing. What would that do to you? How about 5 years? Do you think you're still in practice? All right, let's back it up a little bit. We've heard a lot of great things this weekend, a lot of great ideas, a lot of things that you can do to help yourself so that you can exponentially make change in your life and exponentially help the lives of others. So now you leave here this weekend and you walk in on Monday and you start making changes in your life. You start doing things more positive, like before you go to bed at night, you start putting good stuff in. I don't care what it is. If it raises you up and lifts you up, you're doing it every night. And you set your alarm, and you're waking up early. How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Are you feeling better? How do you feel when you walk in that door? Now you're not rushed. Now you're not stressed. Now you've decided to put certain time away for certain stresses and focus on your patients while you're there, and the patients feel it. So now a year goes by, 5 years, 10 years. Imagine the magic. Open your eyes. I see some faces that have smiles on them that didn't when I started it. Imagine what happens when you make the commitment to change what's between your two ears, change your life. It's not about your location. It's not about the people that live in the town that you're in. It really isn't even about what you charge. Because the more you value yourself, very likely the more you're going to charge anyway. I promise you that. So go home if you think you need change. If you don't, then don't do anything. Make the changes you need to make. Talk to the people that need to be here. Let's raise the roof next time. Let's get more people understanding what we know to be true, and that's how we become little people that make a big difference. Let's do this together. I love you, and I thank you, and I appreciate you. Thank you.